This internet is cut. Hello, all. Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a good week. We'll start the show tonight, and I'll let our co-host, introduce herself, and then we will get started.
Happy Taco Tuesday. Ooh, shoot. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. I just ate my 2 tacos.
I forgot that I had back-to-back meetings, so as per usual, I'm hungry. I cannot with myself. I really can't. So, I had tacos for lunch. I did have a taco. I had tacos for lunch. So, before we get started, let me tell you, if anything about what we discuss in our homes on our platform may possibly be not what you want to hear, we are okay with you exiting, preferably quietly. We will be taking Thursday to respond to the very classless comments that we received on our last video, as well as the ones that actually made some sense. Listen, let me tell you something. There's something that's going to be discussed, and it says trigger warning down the bottom, and it also says we're going to discuss it from this perspective. We have every right to do so. And if you choose to, you can discuss a topic however you want on your platform. And let's just make something else clear. Usually when people work, which is why we make videos, you do it so that people will pay attention. If you stayed a little longer, you might know that I was okay with whatever was said in that video because we knew that it wasn't what people wanted to talk about. And that's okay. Those are probably the topics we should talk about the most. And we'll go ahead and take that. Thank you to all of the emails and texts that supported and did not want to post because there were so many mean comments that they didn't actually want to post, and they were victims. Let's go ahead and get started. Tonight we're going to go light because we don't have the energy for you. How dare you tell us don't pick something apart while picking us apart like you know us? You don't know us. Have you listened to any other videos? I actually do things. So while you guys are typing away, I actually do something. Who do you help? Think about that. So let's get started with bad kids, which is probably what most of y'all started as, the ones who commented. Crazy. I don't understand. So Rose covered on her show, let me send this out. Rose covered on her show the 8-year-old little girl that, took a little drive to Target. And we have found that she had her pet dog in the car with her and the exact reason why she did it, right? Because one would probably want to know, what made you get in the car and drive to the Target? So let's listen to the video. Let me just say, people were saying, oh my gosh, she drives so well. She only hit a mailbox. It's not that big of a deal. But I find where it's a big of a deal. So hold on. We're not going to do this tonight. Please hold. Let me see if I can do it from here.
So we finally know the name of the 8-year-old girl who went viral last month for driving herself to Target, spending $400, and treating herself to a Frappuccino. Everyone meet Zoe, who was more productive one Sunday morning than most adults are 4 times her age. I'm still shook over how she drives better than me. The only thing she hit on her way to Target was a mailbox, and she said it was green. She even had to drive through a construction zone and made it there safely. That is impressive. Her mom, Tangi Wilson, recently sat down with the New York Times where she talks about what made her daughter go on the Target run, as well as how she's handling her newfound fame. To summarize, Tangi thought that Zoe was somewhere in the house playing on the iPad because Zoe had asked her to use it early that morning. However, Zoe was still mad after an argument that she had with her older sister the night before, so I'm guessing she needed to blow off some steam, which is why she took her mom's car keys, wallet, and ID and drove herself to Target. And what's sending me is that she took the family's dog with her. They have like a Shih Tzu poodle mix named Bear, and she was like, "Get in, losers, we're going shopping." And let me tell you something, Miss Ma'am was on a mission. She had errands to run. What made her go to Target was that she accidentally dropped or cracked the iPad while leaving the house. So she figured she would go to Target to replace the case. However, when she couldn't figure out what size she needed, she shopped for toys and makeup instead. I would have done the same thing, so I can't even judge. After Tangi found out from her older children that both Zoe and the dog were missing, what followed was a brief missing persons case that involved neighbors, family members, and the local police. Zoe, who was found safe at Target nearly 2 hours later, became an internet and media sensation, leading many to question how a child so young could get herself to the store without hurting anyone, and most importantly, how she ended up with a Frappuccino at the store Starbucks. Now, the question that everybody wants to know, how exactly did an 8-year-old drive herself to Target? Well, apparently the little girl doesn't really have much driving experience at all, obviously, but the mom thinks 90% of it was her driving off using go-karts and watching her mom drive. The car has a push-button start, which definitely helped. Also, Zoe has a very good sense of direction because she actually used to go to school right down the street from the Target, so it was a regular commute for her and her mom. They also asked how the mom felt about the cheeky tone of the police department's Facebook post, and she said that it really didn't bother her too much. She was just thankful that nobody got hurt. If anything, she was more concerned about the Target employees' lack of awareness because nobody said anything to an 8-year-old walking around in Target pushing a cart by herself with her dog. She made it all the way to checkout, and her mom asked her, "Did anybody say anything to you?" And she was like, "No, people just said, 'Your dog is cute. Can I pet your dog?'" And I'm like, "So even at the register?" And Zoe was like, "No." Zoe is not tall for her age at all. She's around 4'2", and she looks like a kid, acts like a kid. If anybody was to meet her, she's the most lovable, sweet, innocent girl ever. According to Zoe's mom, Zoe did not buy a Frappuccino. She thinks the officers did it to make the story look cute because they thought it was a joke. Now, was Zoe disciplined or grounded after all of this? According to the mom, she wasn't. She says, "I spoke to her and I reassured her that I loved her and how I wouldn't want anything to happen to her and how dangerous and big the situation was. But when we go to places moving forward, if she wanted a slushie from the store, I would tell her no as a consequence." What I appreciate the most about this story is that the police treated this little black girl like a child, because she is, and that the media did the same thing, because this could have gone so negative. Like, the whole narrative could have been really nasty, like nastier than the Shade Room comments, but nope. No one called her a whole bunch of derogatory names. Nobody adultified her. They were just like, "Look, Miss Mama was stressed out and needed her a me day," and had just that.
So my question is, number one, is there a reason why people go viral for doing things that they should not do? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yeah. I said, yeah, all the time. People go viral for stuff they don't need to.
So, very interesting. You know, kind of like we had questions about a story that we heard because it contradicted what we heard. And very interesting that to make that story sound better so that people would listen, they added something in there, just as simple as a Frappuccino. Had no purpose in the story, but you added it to make it cute. Sound familiar? Reason why we ask questions, which, by the way, most people ask questions on the same things that we asked questions on that last video. And we have the answers because she answered them. So, what would you have done if that was your child?
She, first of all, she would have got in trouble. For the mom to say that she didn't get in trouble, I feel like that little girl gonna keep on doing stuff like that. Because yes, you want to know that your child is safe and happy, nothing happened to anybody else, but she needs to be on punishment, period, point blank. I don't know how she didn't get in trouble.
I don't understand that at all. I do appreciate the way that the policemen treated her, and them treating her as a juvenile because, like we say about things, this one ended up okay. You know, she could have hurt a lot of people on the way there. She could have hurt herself. And just like some of the cases we've been discussing on your channel, these cases that end up in the best case scenario, people don't see where it could have went, thus it being a problem, especially if you're using such a huge platform to talk about it. I think that there should have been, if you're going to add some wow and some context, I think it should have been what could have happened if things went wrong versus adding a damn frappuccino in there. Because not shortly after, there was another case of a 10-year-old boy who decided to go for a joyride as well. And the comments look completely different. The picture alone, I wouldn't have allowed that picture to come out. She looks very grown, very not demure. It's too much. I do not agree with children looking like freaking adults. That just paints a whole picture. And again, we're being used to be exploited, because I'm sure that baby had other pictures that her mother should have ensured that they used to make her look like a little girl versus looking very sassy, we see why she got in your car. That's how people end up making the comments and having the ideas that they have about
being
us.
judgmental. Because me looking at it right now, I was like, she looked grown.
Right.
She looked like she'd do something like that. And then for her not to get in trouble. And then for the mama to say, like, that Target, why Target didn't catch on. Nobody told your daughter to get in your car and drive to Target. That's not their responsibility. How they know that you wasn't in the car or something or somewhere else around Target and you just let her walk around? That's don't have anything to do with them, ma'am. That's your daughter that got in your car and drove to Target.
So once again, the little climate that we have, and by the way, I'm being very sarcastic because how dare you? Yes, I'm going to be sarcastic for a while because how dare you? No, I'm not responding in writing. I'm responding with my words. So let's talk about that. Somebody does something and they have their part in it, but they talk about the other person's part in it, but not their part. Because people could have very well said, based on that picture, you knew she was sassy and she could do certain things. So why didn't you keep the keys away from her? Why didn't you make sure that you
Right.
pay extra close attention? Right? She could have gotten in trouble for her child leaving the home and been prosecuted as the parent of the child. See, people don't see all of that until the shit hits the fan, and then they want the rest of us to advocate for them and say, oh no, that doesn't make sense. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because I would have absolutely said that she was on punishment. You talked about how you loved her, but you didn't talk about how people could have passed, how you could have hurt somebody. She only hit a mailbox. She got into it with her siblings, so the siblings let her walk out the house. Okay. Not only did she walk out the house, she took the card, the purse, the driver's license, the social security card.
And for a while.
Because we always talk about this. Had it been handled from a kid perspective, I would have probably looked at it like, okay, video games, we all know is scientifically proven that those things can have an impact. But by her starting with, I still had an attitude at 8, and nobody don't think they should clock that right now. Okay. Now let's see what happened to the little boy, and let's see if it's still funny. Because by the way, these comments are very different, because y'all be out here real bipolar. The stuff don't be across the board. It's different if it looks a certain way versus the end result could be the same, and you should handle it the same way.
I'll let it go, because I feel different on these videos though too.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'll let you show it first.
Okay. So here we go.
Not in connection with activity with stolen cars, and too many parents that have been begging us for help.
All right, I want to start tonight with a story that really knocked us all back here today, because this is video. See it back there, of a car driving through a playground area. This is in Minneapolis. And during a couple of passes, he actually zooms through and past where these kids were all playing. And if that's not bad enough, okay, here's the real surprise. The driver, just 10 years old. Our Leon Purvis joins us now tonight. Leon, this happened a couple of weeks ago, but we're just getting this video today. But the other part of the story here is that this is not the first time this 10-year-old has had run-ins with police, is it?
Yes, Tim, that's what police tell us tonight. Minneapolis police say that the 10-year-old drove near the playground on September 20th. And Chief Brian O'Hara says that the 10-year-old boy has at least 30 entries with the department dating back to May 2023. Surveillance video caught it all at Nellie Stone Johnson School. The car just drives across the grass. Then this, it approaches the playground as the child quickly stops to keep from getting hit. Police say the alleged driver was a 10-year-old boy.
This is a case, as there are others, where parents need help. It's not an issue of parents being neglectful.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says they've arrested the boy at least 2 times before in other incidents. His history with police spans back nearly 18 months.
This boy is also listed as a suspect in more than 12 cases that range from auto theft to robbery to assault with a dangerous, deadly weapon. The remaining entries are mostly related to runaway type cases.
O'Hara believes the system has failed this 10-year-old.
This is a situation where a mother, who I believe is a good parent, has been asking the system for help, and the system has been failing her and failing her child.
A system that has few answers for young children. And if his arrest in this case doesn't raise concerns, add to it the belief that he was driving a stolen car.
The system doesn't have an answer for what to do with someone this young. And that is the revolving door that we've been seeing over and over throughout this year.
To prove his point, the boy was in another incident in August. Those charges were just approved Friday.
This juvenile, amongst other juveniles, when approached a victim while holding a knife in his hand and threatened the victim, saying that he would gut her. "I will gut you," is his quote, the victim stated, while trying to steal the victim's Kia.
The chief.
So, another situation where 2 things can exist. The child is a menace, the parent is not. Without that additional information, though, we would have pointed our fingers at the parent. Oh, so it's okay to ask questions. And when you give a story, it should have all the information because logical questions will come. Isn't that something? When somebody reports, they should get all of the information, right? Like the reporter that was talking to that girl. I digress. I'm just saying. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, it's very wow. It's very wow because that's out of control. There are parents that are out there asking for help and looking for help, and it's not there. Let me tell you why it's not there. Because we have these people advocating saying, they're just babies. They're just babies. Baby, let me tell you something. These days, as well as in the past, there are some people. We are all people, right? We say we should respect kids like other people. We should also acknowledge when they need help young, because this is something that needs help. This child is out here doing all of this stuff at 10. It's already been how many arrests? When is she supposed to get help? When should we actually treat this like and try and
wait till something really, really bad happens, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, because if this been going on for 18 months, y'all should have been nipped that in the bud." It's not. I don't care if he's 10 years old. What y'all want him to do? Unalive somebody? Then y'all do something, but then gonna say he's still too young. Put his ass in juvenile hall.
Well, this time it's actually charges, and I would best guess it's because every parent on that playground has a right to say something. That child didn't go.
He might be charged, but that don't mean nothing really gonna happen to him because I've seen that with my own eyes. Nothing still don't happen to him. So
And
just
here's
because
where
it
you
got
need
charged,
people like advocates, right? This is where you need people like advocates because, hey sis, this is where that child didn't just drive through the park with that playground in the middle. He circled around it.
Yeah.
So for me, that takes it to another level. Because what in your brain, you did that intentionally. That's where you showed the intention. And how people don't see when something escalates to something different is really alarming, and it's really crazy, because that'll be that same person, Ro, and we know it. That'll be that same person that's saying if something happened to their child, they'll be crying, oh, my child was so sweet. Oh, he got saved when he was a baby. No. And I'm just supposed to accept that you hurt my child? Because that's the intention. That is intentional. If an adult were to do that, what would happen?
You know me. I don't be caring if they're a child. If wrong is wrong, I don't care how old you are. I don't care. And
if you have adult behavior,
he should have been in jail. If the mama is asking you for help and saying that she can't do nothing with him, come on now. What do you want her to do?
can you imagine how much worse he has to be at home on a day-to-day? Like,
But
if you
I did read. I was reading in the comments. I don't know if they had this somewhere else. They said that the mom, the reason, and she can't do nothing to him. I think they said the mom is white and the daddy is something else, and that he was acting up already, and that they had said that police got involved and was like she couldn't whip him no more. So this is what happened.
So what is she supposed? How,
Girl, I would have shipped his. Oh, I'm about to cuss because I would have shipped him straight off somewhere. Boy, it ain't no way. It ain't no way.
I feel like they be setting us up, bro. I feel like they be setting us up.
Set you up for failure.
You know he's coming straight. You know exactly where he going.
Yeah, for the rest of his life. Y'all setting it up. He already has a record, and sometimes that record goes with you forever. Sometimes it don't, but sometimes they will pull up your juvenile records. Please. And you starting from 10.
If he would have hit somebody, well, technically, what, 8.5? It's been 18 months.
Because they said 18 months. Yep.
8.5. So let's just say he would have hit one of those kids on the park, and they would have either been dismembered, unalive, anything like that was long term. They would go back and pick up all of that stuff, because the parents would be very upset that how come you didn't do anything when this started
before. Yeah, and just think if that little girl wasn't looking, she stopped.
That made me so nervous. I was like, did you just drive through? And he's at this point, he's a pro. He's been stealing cars. So at this point, he's a pro. So he knew, again, exactly what he was doing. He wasn't swerving. He was driving real comfortably, a even pace, all of that. So we're supposed to ignore that, because I actually care about people. And because I care about people, not only do I hold myself accountable, and I still make mistakes, but not bad decisions like that, I'm going to hold other people accountable. Because why do we always have to be reactive instead of proactive? If you see something is wrong, why can't you handle it now? We're scared straight. Why are you not finding his parents? But she's reaching out for help. So if the dad says something different, then maybe find him, because you're not being a disciplinarian. What type of father are you? Are you trying to? Because they only said the mother. They only said the mother. Where's the village? Where's the village? Because you're responsible. Where's her help supposed to come from? I don't understand. That's just crazy. And for those of you that have just entered because this is live, I'm going to show a little bit of the video again, so you can see that this is crazy how he was driving this kid. Why we just glorify a girl for only hitting a mailbox and driving a Target because she was angry.
Not in connection with activity with stolen cars. And too many parents that have been begging us for help.
All right, I want to start tonight with a story that really knocked us all back here today, because this is video. We've got, see it back there, of a car driving through a playground area. This is in Minneapolis. And during a couple of passes, he actually zooms through and past where these kids were all playing.
Well, thank you, Jesus, that all of the kids were okay. And thank you, Jesus, for his sake as well, because he clearly needs help. I don't believe that a child wants to be bad, but something isn't connecting, because most kids, They're upset if you even raise your voice at them. If they know that you disappointed in them, it disappoints them. So for him to be doing all of these things, something is wrong. And we're gonna stop thinking that you're protecting your child by not insisting that if they need medical attention, if it's something chemically imbalanced, that you get the help when they need it. Fun fact, great information. Let me help you with my HR background. Some of y'all, I would not want y'all to be on the jury for me because y'all don't even ask questions. Y'all just go with whoever cried. But did you know that when you are going for things that are related to child development, that you have until the child turns 8 with most insurances? Once the child turns 8, that's their developmental stage, birth till 8. Once they turn 8, if you try to go get help at that point, because now they're not reading well, they're talking about holding them back, it's too late. It doesn't open up again until high school. And so you lose all of those years because your formative years are until 8. So that is why people tell you, and if you know, all you parents, if you read a child book on any of it, it tells you pay attention to your babies. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. If you get them the help that they need, especially at that age, then they can grow and be better. Okay? It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's really not. Because it could hurt your child, or it could make them be in college like they should be. So let's enter the fun stuff. Good old Kevin Samuels. Let me tell you. So somebody found a video. I heard that in his previous videos that he used to try to groom guys first and give guys information on how to better date as well as women, but mostly geared towards guys. Of course, that didn't pick up the way that it did with women because, as usual, you know, if you dog women, especially Black women, it goes viral. So he took the path that he could take. But let's take a look at the foundation of what he was talking about when, you know, he said things like you should be a 12 and you should date between this age and what your value is and your numbers and all of that. Again, much like our show. If you called in to him and he told you how he felt, do you think it was his fault, twin? People was mad at him, but you called in. Okay, let's play the video of good old Uncle Sam. See what I did there, Uncle Sam?
Okay, so you're a deadbeat.
No, really, not really, but
No, yes, really you are. You're a deadbeat. You're a deadbeat. You want a beautiful woman for free.
how come other guys get it free, Kevin?
We're not worried about other guys. We're talking about you, Nicholas. You came in here talking about whether gynocracy is an error and you're a deadbeat. You just don't want to pay for it. You want it for free, i.e. you're a deadbeat. And your only standard is like, well, other guys can get it for free. Yeah, but they may be paying with a currency you don't have. It's called like social skills.
Oh!
They're paying for it. They're just not paying for it with the money. See, the problem is you. And I don't like cheap men who try to blame their problems on other things. You can be cheap, but you can't say you want beautiful women for free. You can say that, but you don't get them. You're going to pay sooner or later.
That's what the females tell me all the while, Kevin.
See, the problem is you lied. You said the gynocracy, and that's an outright lie. And see, guys like you will come into my chat room talking about these women and these strags and these systems and this and that. And I've just shown through asking you questions that you are no better than the women you talk about in this regard. You're being disingenuous, sir.
So, to be clear and to recap, just like all of us that would have a brain, try to tell the people that was mostly in the comments that you go to their page and they holding money in their hand or throwing up a gang sign or doing things that are very low vibrational. He wasn't talking to you guys. He was talking to the guys that actually have something. And in having something, he was letting those guys know, you got to do your part. If you want a certain caliber of a woman, be ready to break bread because that woman is not even going to respect you if you don't have your stuff together. And he didn't say a certain amount of money. He said, make sure that you also think you should pull from the class that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think now hearing that, Miss Rose?
I still don't like him.
And you guys, we're exactly 30 minutes in.
Like, I still
She
do
was
not.
good for 30 minutes. She was good for 30 minutes. She don't like him. She says she don't like him.
He's a person I don't care for. Even I did hear that he did that to men first, but I feel like
It still was softer.
yeah, it didn't take off like it did with the women. The women he went hard and went hard. Which, like you said before, I don't know why they called in because I will always say I don't know why they would even call in because they know that how he's gonna be. Like he was so rude, but they should not have called in. I just don't like him. Rest in peace. So I ain't gonna talk about no man that didn't pass away. But I don't.
Well, he lived by his sword and he died by his sword.
Yeah, he did.
God bless his soul. It's very interesting. Shonda says she loves him. You can't treat us too soft. We don't listen. I think that is very true.
I do believe that too.
True.
But
So,
you don't got that harsh.
No, I think that when he first started talking about women, he talked just the same way he was talking to men. So you could respect it because it was an even playing field.
Mm-hmm.
But once those pick me men jumped on board, you know, the ones that complaining about a woman wanting to take their money, but you go to their page and they're at their mama house, and then you ain't got no money. You're never going to be in that pool of men. Okay. Those were the men. It's very interesting how when we do content and things like that, we get inundated with all of the people that probably shouldn't be commenting. And then the ones that want to comment end up inboxing us because they don't want those crazy people going after them because it creates kind of a mob type thing. You guys are low-key bullies because yes, did he make good points? He absolutely made good points. He did. And I learned a lot of things from him. I'm not even going to front. I did. Sometimes you had to remove you know how they say, pay attention to the message, not the messenger. I believe that does hold true. It really does. Sometimes it's hard. And when you can't, don't. It's a lot I didn't really listen to him a lot. Kasha, my little dove, with Ro, it's okay. That's my nephew, you guys. You're in our homes. Welcome. Kasha would send me the ones that she knew that I could stomach that would teach a lesson or whatever. But he had really good messages because I believe, like Shonda, our moms and grandmothers talk to us so soft we can't handle is soft coming from. Listen, I think that I was truly blessed. I do, because the elders, for me, and I mean the elders that are even 10 years older than me, they didn't fucking talk to me soft. They talked to me like I was a whole thug that needed to be reeled in, child. They didn't talk to me like that. But my family is also from the South. So they say things very direct, straight to the point, because they come from an era with, I'm trying to save lives. I want you to be better. I want you to do better. And so I'm not going to fluff this statement. I'm not saying what you should do. I'm saying what you're going to do. And I agree, Shonda. Those people that have not been talked to that, like that, it's like they expect you to say, well, honey, you know, I think it's a good idea if you don't touch that fire. Where parents that, you know, a very direct way to say that is get your hand away from that fire, get away from that fire, or pop their hand. I don't need to soft like that with you because it's not an option. Let's catch up on the comments. He changed because he saw the truth.
I think it was more clickbait. He got more views and stuff when he started talking to the women more crazy. I think it had to do with clickbait. He made more money doing it like that with the women than he did with the men.
I will agree. And that's what I believe. So unlike the people that said that we did a video for clicks and views, yeah, we did do it for clicks and views, but not likes. I actually don't care how many likes I get, because guess what it did? It got people talking. What did his do? It got people talking. Now the choice is how you leverage your platform. When we talked about ensuring that you have details correct, ensuring that you ask the appropriate questions, and ensuring that you are fair, because there's somebody on the other side of that. The same thing applies with him. It was people on the other side of that that he really hurt. But here's the thing, once you saw how his platform was, you have a choice. If you didn't like what he was saying, if it hurt you, if it broke you down, if it didn't feed into, how you felt about yourself, why then would you continue to listen?
Right.
Why?
Because I never watched him. I
No.
will only see stuff when they were posted like on social media. I would not.
Yeah, like the clip.
I would not. I'm like, because I just hate the way he talked to women.
Right. Because there was another way to say it. But unfortunately, a person will find their niche and they will find what their audience loves more.
Yep. And
we have already
you can't
established.
get mad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can't really get mad at him because the people were still calling in to get cussed out and talked to like that. So we really can't be mad at him because they did it. But I just didn't care for him. I feel like my mama didn't talk to me like that, and I can take people talking crazy to me because I know I talk crazy to people, and my mama never talked. Nobody talked to me ever like that. And even if a man tried to talk to me like that, I got enough mouth to back it up, and he gonna wish he never said that to me. So it just depends on the person. Like I do feel like sometimes us as Black people needed straight no chaser, but you don't gotta do it like that. He was disrespectful to me.
Agreed.
To me, I feel he was just too disrespectful. I didn't like it.
Agreed. Let's catch up on the comments and then I'll respond to you. They hard-headed ass need to hear it like that. Agreed. Yes, we are from Texas. I do hear, and these women do not listen. And I'll be click, and it'll be clickbait by default. Trust me. They hard-headed and needed to hear that. Shonda was going in. It's not for everybody. No, everything is not for everybody, and you can't expect people to change their home to accommodate you. If you don't like it, keep going. I do not go to people's page and tell them that I don't like their content unless they are talking about children or they are talking about not even women, mostly just children. If it's something that's out of control for a child and I feel like that child will see it, then I will say something. But I still don't dog them in their comments. That's still their home. And my daddy, yep, from Texas. I'm grateful, very grateful. I actually am. Mom said true and exactly, sis. So let me tell you, this is what I will say. I actually did a panel on this one with Kevin Samuels, and it was the one with Kasha and Ron in it. Here's the thing. When you have, Rose said you can't even be mad. I can. You can. I am. And that's why she started out with she don't like him. What she's saying is you can't be mad and go in his shit and act like you supposed to change him. That's what she's saying. To me, on a bigger scale, probably due to my background, working in HR, PR, all of those things, you have a certain platform. You have a certain responsibility. For me, at the very top, under God, where we all try to be in our best efforts, is male is a protector. Black man, if you can't protect us, how can you help us? And some of the things that he said, it would depend on the person. Some ladies was really lost and they was asking for information. And it seemed like if they were plus size, didn't have their hair done, something like that, they weren't aesthetically pleasing, he would go on those ones even worse, even worse. But there was some, and Ro and I would look at those again from Kasha sending them. Some of them was like was sure with a bonnet on their head. Now you coming on a show to talk about dating, to be rude, to do things like that. It was the one who said she dropped out of college and started selling lashes and doing something else and wanted a six-figure man with no path of where she was going to meet him to be that desirable. And his questions were valid. Did those women need to be humbled? I firmly believe that those women needed to be humbled. So sometimes it was okay, but it was still the choice of words.
Yeah, it was his choice of words. But I don't know. Sometimes I will be feeling like, is this real? Is it real?
It was. It was. I never saw him call anyone. They called, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they called him.
If you called, at the very least, present your best self. Me already knowing what his idea of this thing is, if he were to ask me to rate myself, same way I tell our kids, to me, baby, you a perfect 10. To me, it can't get no better to you, and I love you. However, in the real world, nobody is a 10. You may find your 1, and your 1 is going to think you an 8. Okay? But that's your 1. And your goal shouldn't be for the world to think that you a 10, because that's never going to happen. And that's okay. And I think that's where he was coming from. But at least when you go on the show, I'm plus size. So I already know off top, he's knocking points down for me. He's already told me what his grading system is. I can't go into his class and tell him how to grade me. What do I think I am? According to you, this is what I think I am, because I check everything else. This is what I think, my score is, or whatever, because he's going to ask you. So when you go, you already know. Why would you say, I think I'm a 10? Well, why do you think you're a 10? I make this much money, blah, blah, blah. Those things they don't correlate with his platform, his beliefs, and his grading system. We all have a grading system, guys. Yes, children are off limits. They're completely off limits. So if I see things like that from somebody I'm following, on my way unfollowing them, I will say something, because it's not okay. And here's the other thing. I'm okay with people that don't agree with me. I'm okay to pose a different thought or say, have you thought about this? I'm okay with having adult conversations. And I have online before, and people have taught me things, and I love those conversations. We actually end up like following each other and stuff like that. What I'm not okay with is you calling somebody, you're being a mean person, you stupid bitch. So you just showed your character. You just showed your character doing the exact same thing you just said that I shouldn't do, and I probably didn't. You just didn't like what I said. I'm gonna need you to go jump off a curb. Take a mirror, look at yourself. Let's see. Exactly. And I would have told his goofy ass, I don't need your opinion on my rating. These high value men are okay with me. Baby, let me tell you something. I was just talking about this yesterday with somebody, and no one told him that. They didn't.
Because it would be like only low self-esteem when men called in. The ones that was calling in saying they was a 10 and stuff, I felt like they was doing that for shock value, because girl, ain't no way that you thought that. I think they would be doing that on purpose. Like, did he have a call with them before and was like, say this? Because some of the stuff I'll be like, you just honestly.
Or are they trying to go viral to promote their brand?
Like I just felt like it just could not be real.
And
I could never go near, because I don't know what he would have said about me, but I sure would have cussed his ass out.
Think about the ideology around the topic of drugs. How if somebody passes away over something, that's the one that they want. That is proven. People, it's almost like they were hoping that women hope. So they were hoping that they would be that one that would get that. But you have to be completely delusional to go on there and say certain things. I just don't understand. I don't understand why you would do that. I really don't, but they did. And for me, again, you called in. So however he talked to you was on you. Now, two things can exist, but I don't respect you, sir. You talk about people so bad. When your tagline became that people was going to die with their dog and be lonely and all of that.
What do you call it? The big Shirleys. That's what he calls it.
Big Shirleys.
Big Shirleys. But that's how you died.
And talking about nurses and regular careers and things like that. Like, Ninja, how dare you? And then very interesting, when you pass with some female friend who happens to be a nurse, and they couldn't even locate your people. See, hurt people hurt people. When somebody gets the light out of a platform like that, it's something wrong with you, because even if you do something for that shock value to get your numbers up there, I would have still brought it back down. And I would have started teaching lessons. And I would have said, y'all see how I would have used that as an opportunity to say, do you see how crazy y'all are? Do you see how you did people? Because that's exactly what we did. We didn't delete those comments from that video. We left them there because number one, you have the right to your opinion. But what we did do was pause them because they're out of control and it started making other people not want to comment. We don't ever want to have a platform where people don't feel like they are welcome or feel like people for our target audience is going to be behaving like that. You still have a responsibility when you choose to step into this space. You chose to. So you need to make sure that your environment is conducive of that, one that will at least teach something.
Yeah, because he could have said it. He could have just said his stuff a different way. Like she said, I do feel like a lot of people, you need it raw with no chaser, but you could have said it another way, like, ma'am. Now you don't even got to call her ma'am, but whatever you want to call her, ma'am. How do you feel that you're worthy of a 6-figure man with X, Y, and Z, and you selling lashes? Like, what makes you think that a man that makes 6 figures will want somebody that sells lashes? Like, he's gonna want somebody. Well, some of them might want it.
Well, wait. Remember what? So let me just say before anybody try to come for her, the other thing with the lashes is the girl didn't want to cook, so she wanted a cook, she wanted a maid, and when she had kids, she wanted a nanny. She wanted that's celebrity type stuff. That's not even soft life
But
6
that's what
figures.
I'm saying. You're not
Yeah.
even
So
nothing.
before
You're not
they
bringing
come to you.
nothing. I don't care if somebody say something about me. You not bringing nothing to the table. You're not bringing nothing to the table. So why would you want a man that's going to do everything for you? You should at least be able to cook for him. He might get a maid and stuff for you, but at least be able to do those things. He could have said it a nicer way. He didn't have to degrade the women like that. That's why I didn't like him, because the way he spoke to women. It's other ways he could have said it to where they could have been like, you know what, you're right.
Mm-hmm. I agree because I did not see what he was saying. I was so anti him that I wouldn't pay attention to nothing that he was saying. And then we did an event on the production company side, and it was all males. So I started asking questions, and the way that they was answering the questions, I was like, oh shit. Okay, I see it. Oh, okay. I see what you mean about accountability. I see what you mean about the value that you want a woman to bring to the table and those type of things. Then it made complete sense to me. But when he was saying it, because it was so mean, it was like, is this even true? Because if it is, why are you being so mean instead
Right.
of teaching women how to grow? I don't understand. His ego took over big time. Big time. Once people just blow up, it's like somebody to go from having no money to having money. He was trying his whole career to be in the spotlight. And that was the thing out of all the things that he did. He started with relationships. Then he moved over to with the men. Then he moved over to women, and that's what actually boom. But it didn't start until he started being really mean and aggressive. Um, when you, as a grown person, start taking videos of people, somebody eating that's fat when they're out. A lady was out with her dog. You don't know if she was single, and he started taking video of her from the back, calling her a big back and doing all of this stuff. Maybe a couple weeks before he passed. It wasn't even that long. How was that supposed to be? And you have daughters. You made sure you kept your daughters and your ex-wives away from media, didn't you?
Yeah, that's why I didn't even, and God forgive me, I did not even feel sad when he passed away.
So many didn't, and that was
I
sad.
had never seen that in my life.
I had never. It was so bad that I felt bad. Like, dang, y'all, you're not supposed to celebrate somebody passing in that way. Like, no, that's not okay. He didn't use wisdom on who needed and tough talk on who didn't.
Yeah.
Correct. Like that young girl, he should have been telling her, baby, you still got time. Let me tell you something, because no man is going to want that, blah, blah, blah. Like, he should have been telling her that, like, just being pretty is not enough at all, because pretty based on what? Like, I don't know. Then she needed to work harder. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, let's see. I had no idea. Let's see. The next one is he was doing like okay, so while we're waiting, let's load the next or look at the next video, and then we'll end with a little story of a girl that went on a date number 4, and got humiliated at the restaurant by the guy. for no reason. A little bit crazy. Cuckoo.
When they done, they done. And the thing about it, you don't know when she done. Every woman got their own time frame on putting up, dealing with a nigga bullshit. Every woman got her own time frame. It might be 2 years, might be 3 years, might be 4 years, might be 5, might be 6, might be 7. But get what? You'll never motherfucking know until it's over with. And unfortunately, a lot of you men gotta lose a good woman in order for you to become a better person. If he ain't willingly doing it because he love you and because he value your work, then don't force it. Anything you got to force it ain't even worth having. If I gotta force you to see my value based out and she moving, one thing about a woman that's of value, she move a certain type of way. She don't just talk. See, women don't just talk. When a woman says she going to get her degree, you can put that in the bank and cash that bitch out. She going to get that degree. They don't do like us. We procrastinate. We say some shit just be saying just because it sounds good to try to keep our woman trusting us and shit. Y'all do not finish what y'all start. Same thing with your relationship. You'll start being a good husband, but you'll end up being a fuck nigga. You'll sign up to be a husband, then you'll turn up to be a fuck nigga in the middle of the wedding. Or the middle of the goddamn, the union. But women, when they say they're going to get that degree, you can goddamn get a bowl. If they say it's gonna rain chili, motherfucker, get you a bowl. Them women don't play. They stand on business. I done seen it. Time and time again. Every woman that says she was gonna accomplish something in her life, the ones around me, they done it. And that motherfucker say, I'm going back and get my doctorate degree. Motherfucker, you better bet on it. They use the pain that they done went through to grow through that shit. See, they grow through their pain. They learn from their experience. That's why they stop saying, nope, I'm not interested. I'm cool. I'd rather do it by myself. Niggas are intimidated by that. Little fries. See, in one breath, a motherfucker say, we don't want a woman that ain't got her stuff together, staying with her mama, ain't got no car. But then, pussy nigga, you'll get mad when she talk about she got degrees and she makes 6 figures and she independent. Which one is it? Do you want a fucked up staying with her mama with 4 kids? Or do you want her goddamn over here in this big ass house with 4 degrees and 6 figures in the bank? What do you niggas want?
So, I love it when a good man tells the truth. I do. Because that is very true. Those are not his opinions, because that is what we actually see. Especially go to any post from Kevin Samuels, go to any post from men that are trying to humble us and break us down, and they say we don't care about your money to put us down for the degrees we fought for, the money that we make, or whatever it is. How is that a bad? How again? As a man, number one, you're a protector and a provider. Why is it your goal to break a woman down? Why? And in this economy, you damn well care what we make. You do. You want us to be a contributor. It makes the load lighter on everybody. Because on the reverse, what are we here to? Be his peace, help him out, do this. How are we supposed to do that? If you have a problem with us making money, but then you want us to make money. And when are y'all going to acknowledge that you do chase women, chase women, chase women? Because you're the chaser. You're supposed to. Nothing wrong with that at all. But then you get her and you don't do right by her, but you still expect her to still keep doing right by you. And one thing for certain and 2 things for sure, there's no time frame. Oh, it's absolutely being insecure. It's being insecure because you want her to wait for you and you want her to be beneath you. And that makes no sense. It really doesn't. If you got with somebody that desires to be a doctor and they're a woman and you don't want to make doctor money or have that title and you're going to have a problem with her having it, then why are you going for her only to torture her in the end? You don't want her. Right. You don't like her. So why are you doing that to her? Or is it that you're a user and you want the fruits of her labor, but the whole time you gonna dog her because it's not you getting it? How is that okay? And yeah, women do stand by you. They do. High value women, whatever you want to call it, the virtuous woman, the Proverbs woman, the Keisha from Belly woman. She gonna stand by you until she don't.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to say, oh, you have until Thursday at this time to get it together. And if you don't, you want to know why? Because once you disappoint us and once you show us who you are, we need you to re-show us who you want to be. But
And
I don't.
and we didn't already told you plenty of times. So once you really tired, it's a wrap because we didn't already told you. We don't need to explain nothing to you or nothing because we didn't told you plenty of times and you didn't had a million chances.
Mhm,
And we just done.
mhm. So when, now from that, we hear, well, who files for divorce more? Well, why would you file for divorce? She's still being a good wife. She's still doing what needs to be done. She's still showing up. It's you that was fucking up. Because, of course, by the time you guys decide to say, oh, well, I was gone, like he said, y'all do say what you're going to do and you don't do it. You do it to reel us back in. That's a form of manipulation. Those of you that do it, there are some that do not. Um, Women do what they say they're going to do. So if it comes out of their mouth, I want a divorce. Do you understand what it took to get that out that girl's mouth? Do you give her credit for anything she went through before she said that? And then y'all want to talk about the statistics being higher for women who file? Well, why would he file? If he got you at home being the wife and taking care of the kids and he out there doing whatever he want to do, please explain to me why he would file.
Yeah, he not gonna never foul because he's doing what he want to do and then he still got his cake. He's gonna do whatever he wants. He's gonna keep doing that.
Like the guy said, y'all be out there on demon time doing demon things. And then when she decides, I can't save this no more, it's nothing I could do. I've tried everything I could do according to my vows, the promise I made to God. For those that have been in relationships for a long time but are not married, you're spiritually married, hanging in there for their kids because they want to provide that family for themselves and their children. It ain't just for the kids. It's because she wants a family too. She wants to have that family. So she hangs in there until she can't no more. Now you acting like overnight this happened. It didn't. The less she started to talk, that's when you should have noticed that something was wrong. She was crying and upset at the beginning. Then it turned into, oh, she letting him do that. Is she letting him do that? Or is she waiting to see if he will change? And then if he don't, she's making her plan. She's preparing herself. Wouldn't you do that? Mm-hmm. But guess what? You don't get to know how long that is.
Right.
You don't get to know how long that is. And for some, it could be 15 years, like that lady. So the lady divorced her man after 15 years. He didn't have no job. He didn't have no job. Well, he was on and off working for 15 years, didn't really do anything, nothing. 4 months out and got spousal support. 4 months after, he hits the lotto for $271 million. All she was asking was stop the spousal support. She loathes that man so much that she told him, I don't want your money and that don't make me want you back. Do you understand what that woman had to go through? And he's the one who said it, by the way, because a lot of people ask him. So how did that conversation come up? Number one, you must have called her and tried to throw it in her face when you should have been calling and saying, thank you for everything that you did for me over these 15 years. I know it didn't end well, but you could have sent her 15 million. You could have sent her 1 million. But she got to ask you to stop the spousal support. So you continuously doing that? He must not know how God works. He must not watch how I lost my lotto money, because that lotto money could be gone in less than a year. And technically, Ro, isn't that her lotto money? Her spousal support is
married.
No, they're not married. They've been divorced for 4 months, but it's her spousal money that bought the damn ticket. Brokey. And he had the nerve. Do you see? What kind of person is that? And you want me to see you as a man? And sir, here's the worst part. You said that on live TV. So when you try to go get with another woman, do you think that she likes you? Besides the fact that you look like you dead from smack in the middle of Alabama in nut bush, no teeth. Like, for real, for real. Do you think that woman's going to want you, or you think that woman's going to milk you? Because karma is something.
And they know that. They just don't even be caring, though. Because a lot of men that got money, they know that if they didn't have that money, that they wouldn't have the women.
So let me tell you a story. So the girl, let's see, it's right here. I have the screenshots. So hold on one second. I can't see it on this screen, and I need it on this screen. Jesus. Nope. Hold on. Okay, so there it is. Okay. So the girl says that she is going to be transparent. So what happened was, I'm going to be transparent with you all. Please tell me if I'm wrong or not. I've been talking to this dude for about a month and a half or so. We've never slept together. He's taken me on 3 dates and courted me exceptionally well. Yesterday, I told him that I wanted to take him somewhere nice and pay for it. All he had to do was drive to the address I gave him. I went to the mall and spent $240 on him some cologne and packaged it up really nice, as a gift for him just because. He picked me up last night. I gave him the address. He picked me up last night. I gave him the address to the restaurant. He drove. It was really It was a really nice restaurant that I go to every so often. I told him he can order anything he'd like. I gave him the gift cologne. He opened it and got mushy, saying no one has ever done anything like that for him, and he's used to always treating. He literally said no female has never took me anywhere this expensive and paid themselves. He asked me to go to church with him today. The check came and the waiter instantly gave it to him. I politely grabbed it and pulled out my card. The total was around 430 something. I remembered that the owner had gave me a $20 off birthday voucher my last visit, so I reached in my purse to get it and handed it to the waiter. He instantly flipped out, calling me broke, trifling, poor, classless, etc. I couldn't understand why he was so upset, so I let him explain. I got quiet and didn't say much afterwards. The waiter gave me gave me back my card and receipt and didn't say much. She peeped his rudeness as well. This morning, this is the text I got. He said, "No church. I'm cool with that." As you can see, he's still pretty upset. Was I wrong for treating him to a high-end restaurant and using a savings voucher? Or is dude just unappreciative? Mind you, I just gave him a $240 bottle of cologne. Now let's look at the text. The text say, "I'm not going to church, my bad." Okay, cool. Are you okay? Shorty, you pulled out a coupon that was broke chick behavior. I'm a boss. I'm really him. And any woman with, oh God, and any woman I'm with paying full price. That's why I don't date single moms. You still mad about that? And let's be clear, I'm single, but I'm not a single mom. If me saving money offended you, let's disconnect from here. Take care. That's not what I meant. All I'm saying is the penny pinching isn't going to work with me. The bill was a little over 400. What savings did you need, baby? My last BITCH spent that on a daily. You too fine to be too cheap.
I think that he was ungrateful, and I feel like she dodged a bullet because it shouldn't matter. Like I said before, if she gave a 50% off coupon, she still took you somewhere and treated you. She bought you a $250 bottle of cologne. Like, you were being ungrateful, period, point blank. You were being ungrateful. I feel like she dodged a bullet. She for sure dodged a bullet. Like, it should not have mattered. You said nobody did that for you before, so why are you mad?
So the same way men tell us that we can talk our way out of things, and I agree, Men can talk themselves out of things as well. Perhaps nobody did anything like that for you before because they couldn't do things on the scale that you could do it. So they felt like whatever they could offer wouldn't be good enough. So they'd rather not do anything at all. Or if they had a nice gesture or something nice that they want to do, like go to a park for a date, your courting, that's only now their fourth date. They've been on three, that's the fourth. You're still courting. So if they wanted to do something intimate with you, like that, you wouldn't even receive it and appreciate it. So what it sounds like to me, young man, is that you have some growing to do and you need to learn about what a real boss is. A real boss, number one, is appreciative, of, cares about people, is okay with saving money, number one, at the height of it all. Rich people do not spend money like that. Most of the labels they have on, they did not pay for. Most of the things that they do when they go out those sections, they do not pay for. They get those things, and that is why they have money. And people like you run the risk of being broke. How dare you
Then
call her?
wait. And another thing that I forgot to say too is it was still too early for her to be doing all that. Now, if he wanted to do that, then that's fine. But for her, just because he took you out on 3 dates in a month, like that's too early to be buying $250 bottles of cologne. You did something, you were too fast with it. It don't matter if he's supposed to do that, they're supposed to court you. So let him do whatever he wants to do. But I would have never bought no $250 bottle cologne in 1 month. You still getting to learn that person.
I would not have done that either because I think that had she waited for a little bit, she would have
His
known.
true colors would.
She would have known what type of person that he was. Thus, she wouldn't have used the coupon. She would have saved it for next time or went up there to pay or did something different. I do agree as well. You are still courting. I do not want a gift like that, nor am I giving a gift like that. It is too early.
It's too
And
early.
it's
You
too
don't even
early.
know them.
But like we talk about with the men saying that women are gold diggers and things like that, you led with money. When you led with money, you knew what you were doing. So now that you are behaving that way, and let's just talk about class. Why you told her that she has no class, again, at the height of everything, is a protector and a provider. You thought that it was in your best interest and your class and a look and a boss to talk to her like that where other people could hear, or just to tell her later, I really don't like it when people use coupons. You could have said that because she did not, but you thought it was okay to show your ass at a restaurant while I was crying and upset. Because when I get upset, I cry. I would have been very upset because I couldn't slam your head on that table because that would not be very demure. I would have taken my gift back. I would have taken an Uber home and I would never
That's what I
talk to
wanted
him
to do.
again.
I was like, I wonder, did he give her that cologne back?
Probably not. She didn't say that any cologne was
Yeah.
given back and anticipated going to church with him. And then how dare you talk? What was godly about that?
Nothing. And that's why he needed to be at church anyways. Because the way you acted, boy, you need to be at church.
I'm sure he went to church. I'm sure he was lying and saying that he wasn't going to church because he didn't want to go to church with her. But how does that work? Everything that you were talking about her is how you are, all because of a birthday coupon. Maybe I'm not coming back here anymore this year. So no, while it couldn't do much at all, I also don't want to lose it. So just put it towards the bill. What difference does it really make? What was the reason for that? That shows so little class. I need those of us, yes, all of us, that are going first generation six figures, first generation homeowner, whatever it is that you are and whatever it is that you have. Let me tell you something. None of that adds value to your character if you don't leverage it the right way. It's no different than a platform, Kevin Samuels, anything that we've been talking about. Again, all of those morals and values stretch across your whole behavior. There is no reason that I could think of that he should have, based on this situation and the details we have, that it warranted humiliating her like that. I don't understand. Even if that wasn't your cup of tea, so at that point you decided, I really don't want to date her anymore. What you should have done with class is to return the gift and say, I really appreciate this, but you know what? I don't think, because you're just courting. You're not breaking up. I just don't think this is going to work. I don't really think that we're a match, so I don't feel right accepting the gift, but I really appreciate this. And it was nice getting to know you. Don't that sound more like a boss? Don't that sound like classy? Don't that sound like respectful? I think so. I think that he needs to really step back to the table and evaluate himself because no woman or man should be talking to somebody like that. He sounds just as bad as that girl that said in that car about Cheesecake Factory. You're on mute. Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, cheesecake.
What is the world coming to? We use a lot of energy just processing what could happen, what has happened, the likelihood of something happening. And it's really the reason why people don't want to date. They don't want to go out. They rather stick with the person that they with and try to work it out, especially if they've been with them before this kind of shit started happening, because it is hard. It's hard. Yeah. What is the world coming to? An end. An end. That is the perfect answer because this is scary. Like that man said, you know, women will use their, I don't know what men do. I'm not a man, but women will use their pain to go and get another degree and do something. Fun fact, every one of my degrees is after a breakup. Every one of my degrees. All four. All four are after. No, the last one wasn't. The very last one wasn't. Everything until my master's was a breakup. Every last one. And I graduated with honors. All of them. What's wrong with that? What's the reverse? You go out there and start being a hoe? You go out there and start being a man hater? I don't hate you. Thank you for giving me the time I needed to focus on myself. Because, see, I don't jump from relationship to relationship. So in the interim, it was like, okay, well, what can I do right now? What can I do to better myself? What can I do to keep moving forward? Because since I can't move forward in a relationship, I can move forward right here. That way, my time is not wasted. I didn't waste my time. I'm going to use it for this. What's wrong with that? I don't know what's wrong with these people. Period, poo. I don't understand. That was hard to read. It was because why? Man, why are you getting shits and giggles out of demeaning a woman? You need therapy. You need therapy. All of us need therapy at this point. You went through COVID, you need therapy. Some of us are still recovering. So that is it for the show tonight. I hope you enjoyed the topic. On Thursday, we'll be back to first break down the comments that we got on the video from Thursday about Allie Carter and discuss how your comments are not appropriate and maybe a different way that you could have said it, but we still, we receive your opinion, whether we respect it or not. And then we are going to show the statistics to back up what we said, because see, somebody's on the other side of a lie or an untruth, or in her case, being exploited and maybe putting some things together because she needs help. It's not her fault. She is a victim and needs help. But we're going to talk about that, and the men will be joining us. So that is it from us tonight. Rose, where can we find you tomorrow?
Tomorrow on Talk to Rose at 8:00.
What are we going to be talking about?
I'm talking about some of the props and stuff, since voting is less than a month away.
Okay. Nice. I love it. And shout out to Kamala, because she, hit the ground in Florida to go help some people, and the governor didn't respond, but she's on the ground. So those people that say, what has she done? I'm telling you, God is a revealer. It's right in your face. What happens when they go to touchdown? They cannot do anything without going through the proper channels, president or not. They can't just walk in somewhere and say what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, and that's what I was going to talk about too, the hurricane and how they acted with her.
But she's there. Nobody wants to call that out, though.
Oh, no.
So pay attention, guys. Look, listen with your eyes. Okay? And feel with your brain at this point, because facts They are what they are. So that is it for tonight. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on the way out. If you do not like the video, then do not watch anymore, or suggest a topic, or come on, or start your own platform.
Right.
Anything positive. Let's start being good role models to our kids so they don't pick up keys to cars and drive them, or think that they can behave a certain way and be bullies because they see us being a bully. Let's lead by example. I know you can do it.
Right.
I feel you. I feel in my soul you can do it. We're going to pray for you. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. I'm not playing with this thing tonight. I'm literally, and it's still live. The hurricanes are
Oh, it
really,
sure is.
it's still going, but I can't stop it. Let's see. Good night.